Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I am Faiz, and in today's video we will be talking about the complete process of wrapping a Tesla Model 3 at home. We'll start by looking at the stuff that you will need and where you can get them. We'll then talk about planning the wrap, followed by the complete process of wrapping the car. And towards the end, we'll also talk about the time and money that goes into the process so that you can decide if wrapping a car at home is a good idea for you. Alright, let's start with the things that you will need. The first and most prominent thing that you will need, obviously, is the wrap itself. One website where you can purchase this is metrorestyling.com. If you have already decided on the color and finish, that's great. Otherwise, you can either order $1 samples from them to get a feel and idea of the color in real life. Else, you can look at the pictures customers have posted of their completed work on Metro's website. One quick tip while choosing the wrap to purchase is that chrome wraps are a little more challenging to do for beginners. So if you're doing this for the first time, the Avery Dennison Satin Collection is the one that you should probably get. The wrap comes in rolls that are 5 feet in width, and then you can choose the length on the website. For a Tesla Model 3, if you do everything perfectly, you can complete the wrap in 48 feet. But I personally ordered 60 feet of material just to give myself some space for mistakes, and I strongly recommend that you do the same. Next, you need the tools that will help you wrap. The items you should definitely get are a bunch of squeegees, pry tools, felt tip magnets, a blade tool, a wrap glove, and optionally a heat gun if you'll be installing the wrap in a colder environment. I purchased this wrap kit from Amazon, which consolidated all the wrap tools in one place. Apart from those, you will need a few other general cleaning items like 70% ethyl alcohol, an empty spray bottle, lint-free microfiber cloths, Goo Gone, a clay mitt, and a few rags, all of which you can grab from a Walmart or any other general convenience store. Also, to stick the badges back to your car, you will need this double-sided tape that you can get from any home improvement store. This is it for the items that you will need. Now let's talk about planning the wrap. I prefer planning any task before I start on it, at least briefly. And in the case of wrapping, it'll save you a lot of time if you know what you're up to. So to plan, first I measured the different panels on the Tesla and took note of them. For instance, the Model 3 has 16 panels, a hood, 4 doors, 2 bumpers, 2 fenders, 2 quarter panels, 2 rocker panels, 1 trunk, and 2 A-pillars. This is not counting the side mirrors. After taking measurements, I used Photoshop to lay these out on a 60 by 5 canvas which resembled the wrap I ordered. Doing this gave me a sense of the cuts I should be making. You obviously may not want to be as detailed as I was, but doing this even roughly gives you an idea of the amount of mistakes you can afford to make during the process. After planning, you can choose to cut all the pieces at once, or you could decide to cut one piece at a time as you progress through the process. Next, let's talk about preparing the car for the wrap. Before starting to wrap, we want to ensure that there are no obstructions on the car that will interfere with our wrap, and also that the car is spotless clean. In the case of a Tesla Model 3, I had to remove the repeater camera and the badges. I'll place links in the descriptions that explain how to do these in detail. A tip before removing the badges is to create a template of the badge placement like how these guys do it using masking tape, and save this template somewhere. That'll make it way easier to apply the badges back after the wrap is complete. Next, you will want to wash the car, and depending on the condition and age of the car, it is better to get it clayed. You can have someone do this for you, or you can do it yourself as I did here using this clay mitt from Amazon. After preparing the car, you should park it in a clean and dry place. This is where you'll do the complete wrap. This should preferably be an indoors garage, and because I did not have a personal garage, I managed to do the whole wrap outside in my apartment's parking lot. Finally, let's talk about wrapping the car. In this section, I'll briefly go through each panel of the car, talk about a few tips along the way, and also attach links to the videos that I watched to get myself familiar with these panels. Starting with the hood, this is a big 50 by 60 inch piece and mostly flat. After laying the wrap, you should begin to squeegee from the middle and work your way towards the sides. One thing to pay attention to while wrapping the hood is the corners near the glass. They can be tricky to get around, so make sure you watch the video linked below by CK Wraps, where he explains how to do it correctly. Moving on to the doors. To wrap the doors, you should start by removing the weather seal of the car. something I did not do myself. You can do this by rolling down the windows all the way and then pulling it off gently, starting at one side. The front doors are almost flat and easy to wrap. However, you will have to pay attention while finishing up the wrap under the side mirrors and over the door handles. On the other hand, the rear doors has a few curves to it. Two lines run across the door that make it a little more challenging to wrap than the front door. The next panel in natural progression of difficulty are the fenders. Once the repeater camera is out of the way, you can start laying the wrap near the door where it is mostly flat and work your way towards the headlights. Again, watch this video from CK Wraps to understand how to wrap the fender and when to stretch the wrap. You can finish this panel by installing the repeater camera back in. The next panel is the straight panel that connects the A pillar to the C pillar. For this, you will simply take a roll of 5 inches of width and 100 inches in length and lay it down end to end. The sides will be tucked under the weather seal on the side of the panel. Next are the quarter panels and the rocker panel. For the quarter panel, you want to start laying the wrap down from the middle of the panel and work your way towards the top and the bottom. The rocker panel that is a part of this quarter panel can be done in one piece, but I made a mistake with my cut and had to do it in 2 separate pieces. Anyways, it turned out really good. Laying the wrap on the rocker panel is easy, just like the panel above the doors. For the top cut on the inside of the doors, you'll want to make sure that you use knifeless tape, and for the bottom cut, you can run your knife in between the plastic and the body underneath the car. Finally comes the challenging part, the front bumper, the rear bumper, and the trunk. I did all of these panels alone with no help. However, I recommend you get someone to give you a hand for these, as the process will be so much easier. Again, I have linked below CK Wrap videos for all of these 3 panels where you can learn how to do them correctly. And unlike other CK Wraps videos that I mentioned earlier are free on YouTube, the front bumper video is exclusively available on his website. Finally, the side mirrors are the last step to your car being wrapped. You can simply do this in 2 pieces with a knifeless tape running through the edge of the mirror. To end, let's do a breakdown of the time and money that went into completing this project. In terms of time, measuring and planning the wrap took me about 2.5 hours. Debadging, cleaning, and removing the camera took about 2 hours. Cutting the vinyl pieces about 2 hours. Preparing the car took about 90 minutes. And finally, wrapping the entire car took me about 25 hours, spread over 3 weeks. This brings the total time investment to 33 hours. In terms of the cost, the wrap cost me about $600. The toolkits from Amazon was about $80. And the cleaning items, knifeless tape, cost about $70, which brings the total cost investment to $750. So to answer the question, is it really worth wrapping your car at home? I'll try to answer this question in 3 different perspectives. If you're only looking to save money and money is your only motivation, yes, you'll obviously save some money if you wrap your car at home. However, be prepared to be patient and resilient if DIYing is not your thing. For the second perspective, if you are really worried that this is a huge time investment, then let's do some math. The average quote that I got for a professional car wrap here in Georgia was about $3,500. That is how much you will be paying for 30 to 35 hours of your time. If you subtract the material cost out of this estimate, then divide the number of hours involved in wrapping, that is 30 to 35 hours, you come down to $80 to $90 per hour. So if you measure your hourly worth to be more than $80 to $90, you should definitely go and get it done by a professional. And now for the third perspective. You may be like me where you like doing DIY stuff, plus you are trying to save some money, plus you are not comfortable giving your car to a workshop. In this case, simply go ahead and give it a go. You'll really love how the wrap turns out in the end. That being said, I hope you found this video beneficial, and if you did, you know what to do. And also feel free to ask me any related questions in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And until next time, peace.